So, some things have been happening recently, and I think I know why. I made an astral projection experience video the other day, a raw astral projection experience video, and it was quite drawn out. It was a very long experience, and a lot of things happened, including me seeing my long lost spirit guide. But during that journey, something happened which really did put everything into perspective when it comes to the events leading up until that point. So what are they? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I had put my bag on my table, and it had been sat there since January, okay? We're now in February. So this thing hasn't been touched for over a month. And then I'm upstairs, right? Then all of a sudden I hear a thud. I go downstairs, and on the floor is my backpack. Now, I'm not the one to jump the gun as to what this possibly could have been. I just assumed that maybe time had caused the bag to collapse, which then caused it to fumble off of my table and move along my floor about 4 feet. You know, I just logically just decided to think that way, which is strange given my history. So, I think, okay, cool, whatevs. Then I started seeing orbs everywhere. Not just orbs, but like people, straight up people. My computer is facing my kitchen, and I was speaking to a client, then all of a sudden I see this guy's head peek from around the corner and look at me. And I look at him, and then I look at the client, and I'm like distracted at that point. So I had to tell my client, I'm like, you know, 1 minute. That's not the first time it happened. During the week also, I was speaking to another client, and then all of a sudden I see this like smoke cloud just materialize next to me out of nowhere. This thing was huge, and it felt intelligent, like it had a kind of mind to it. It knew what it was doing, you see. And then just as fast as I saw it, it just vanished. I'm talking about physical things showing up. They look physical, dense, tangible. No longer are they just a slight glimpse off to the side of my peripheral vision. So as the activity increased, I started hearing noises throughout the night, and this place is a very quiet place, which would actually wake me up. Yeah, and I'm a deep sleeper. But again, I would just think to myself, maybe it's the neighbors, even though I know very well it's not the neighbors, because I can tell the difference between the movements that they make, the vibrations that are carried throughout the floor, where they're stepping. I'm like a kind of bat. I feel everything, and I know generally the kind of layout of both neighbors. It's kind of weird. Again, my kind of excuses get completely wiped out because I'm waking up at 3 o'clock by a creaking sound. That sounds like it's about 5 foot away from my bed. That was a deep sleep, and that creak was light, yet it came with a presence to it. So I'm sat there thinking, okay, I can feel someone there, I know they're there, and I'm seeing apparitions all over the place. And then I decide to throw my phone in the middle of my bed. Bed covers have a kind of sinking material aspect to them. You know, whatever you sit on creates an impression. So, explain to me as to how, when I'm in the bathroom, I hear another thud, and then when I get back into my room, my phone is in the middle of my floor. You know, it's all of these things that kept happening. And like I said, you know, the bag thrown on the floor, the creak, which pulled me out of sleep, which wiped out my other suspicions, and now my phone, seeing other apparitions. This has been going on for about a month and a half. I could generally see dead people anyway, but to this extent, never before. I mean, when I was a child, yeah, but it turned off. Something had to be done. So I decided to astral project, which was quite a different experience compared to the other ones. It felt more like, well, instead of having a hand coming out of a hand, I actually left my nervous system. It was more like if the roots of trees had a ghost, you know, and the energy came out of the roots in the same form. I did that to get out, which was very strange to feel the entire nervous system. I left my body, and I walked towards the door, and I grabbed the handle. I'm kind of hesitant, you know, all this activity. To this day, it's like, great, what am I going to bump into? today. So I slowly open the door and I feel this kind of waiting sensation, not from me. As you've all seen in my videos, in my live feeds, and some of you actually know me personally, my staircase has gaps in it. You can see downstairs before you even get there. So I turn the corner and I start walking downstairs and I can see people in my living room. Not just one, not just two, but as I come down the stairs around the bottom of the staircase, I start to turn the corner down there. I see all of them. It's just full of dead people, okay? And I say dead people because ghosts, compared to astral beings, look different. They tend to resemble how they died, especially if they had just seen their corpse. So I've got a whole living room, even going on into the kitchen, filled with people to such an extent where their shoulders are rubbing against each other. The way that they looked at me was quite, I wouldn't say chilling or unnerving, maybe to someone who's new to astral projection, but I thought it was kind of odd because all of their heads moved in unison as I came down the stairs. They were just like, they didn't feel threatening, they didn't feel sad, they didn't feel angry. They felt like they were all corralled there and have been watching my movements, what I've been doing recently. And that just sparked interest, so much so that they ended up stacking up over time. Anyway, I'm kind of agitated at this point because of everything that's been happening. And I kind of project that in a way, literally. And I say to them, get out. But when I said get out and I yelled it from a place of sternness and I meant it. That literally caused me to ripple the space in front of me. Kind of like how you see a teardrop or a drop of water drop into a pool of water and you see it just ripple out. Well, the space in front of me rippled like a shockwave. If you've seen the TV series on CW Arrow with Black Siren and she screams, right? And you can see the wave coming out. It was like that, but the waves were thicker. And that completely wiped out a huge majority of them. Some of them were stronger than others. The ones that were strong enough to have not had been obliterated straight away, I actually managed to see their expression and they were shocked. They were like, and that was within a split second. The other ones was just gone. It's gone. But there were two. One that was severely half in and half out because I had pushed them into another dimension. And the other one was just standing there. She was affected but not greatly. And she wanted me to pay attention to her. But, again, I was frustrated. And I'm kind of, sounds bad, but I'm kind of done being a counselor for the dead, Especially when you're not in control of it. People just take me out of my body and say, here's a person who's passed on, help them out. And it's been happening for years now. So I thought, I don't want to do this today. Maybe some other time. And I left my house. It was snowing outside, which was a nice surprise. As I lifted my astral hand and I watched the snowflakes kind of hit each one of my tips and my fingers. But yeah, guys, that was about it. Really. Oh wait, no, there was one more thing. But I don't know. This probably shouldn't even. I guess my logical mind again I was gonna say it as it is because every time something like this happens, I feel a certain way because I can pick up on the vibes in my space. I was speaking to someone today, and the light system downstairs, they're all connected. Each light is connected. It's all running on one circuit. The light bulbs are screwed in really tight. And I'm speaking to this guy, and the third light in the middle of the circuit goes out. I think, okay, maybe a balloon. It's kind of strange. The bulbs I buy are quite resilient to this kind of thing. They're studio bulbs, and I use them in replacement of normal household bulbs. About 5 seconds later, it turns back on again, And then after I finished speaking to the guy, I went to check the bulb, and the bulb was fine. It was in there securely tightened to the socket. But I guess we're just gonna have to see what. Oh wait, no, there's more. There's more. Last night I was working again at around about 3 o'clock, and I looked at my door, and it was wide open. Now that's weird. I don't sleep with my doors open because things walk in and out. And I thought maybe I just left it open when I went to go to the toilet. I couldn't recall going to the bathroom, but perhaps I did it in my sleep, then forgot about it. I was in a very deep state. It's hard to remember when you're half asleep. I assumed, then I went back to bed. And then I woke up later on, only to see that my door was closed. Now, this could be one of two things. Either it actually opened and then closed while I was asleep, or I woke up in the astral realm where it was open. We'll see. We'll see. At this point, I'm curious to see. Perhaps I'll set up some cameras to record things overnight. They're gonna have to record for a long period of time. Right now, I don't have any cameras that record over 5 hours. So I'll figure it out though. If things get worse, I'll have to do something about it. I'm Ryan JC. Ryan James Cropper. Yeah, I know what I've been saying has been sounding kind of creepy, but it hasn't led to anything bad. So I guess I'll speak to you pretty soon. Peace.